Friday, USC's top pair, Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, took the pairs title. Today, USC tries to go for it all with the team title. Next. Thank you for joining us for brunch in Los Angeles. How about a little beach volleyball to start off your day? We are on the campus of USC for the first ever Pac-12 team title. And this is the semifinal of the winner's bracket, USC and UCLA. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside three-time Olympian Holly McPeak. First of four matches today on Pac-12 Network. Holly, this matchup, USC and UCLA, what can we expect?
Well, last time these two teams met, 30-mile-per-hour winds in Zuma Beach. So I think things are going to be a little bit more even. UCLA's improved as a program. I expect a battle at every spot.
These two teams are looking to get the team title here, but they're also looking ahead, both expected to be in the national championship tournament next week in Gulf Shores. What do they need to accomplish this weekend?
Well, these teams need to beat each other to win a national title. So I feel like this would be a confidence booster heading into Alabama next week. An important win for both squads.
Yeah, a full day of action here on Pac-12 Network. As usual, we're going to have two flights of games. We're going to start with the 4 and 5 pairs today. And so it's an interesting couple of teams facing off, and then they'll be followed by the second flight of games, the 1, 2s, and 3s. But Holly, as we look at these pairs, let's talk for a moment about court 2, the 5 pairs first. Well, Zojo, they call it. Kremer Nightingale against Consani Weaver.
Well, it's a great matchup. Both very strong 5 pairs, but Julie Consani and Zoe Nightingale are roommates. Zoe Nightingale used to play indoor at UCLA. Roommates and best friends. That's an interesting matchup on court 2.
We're going to start our action, though, today on court number 1. Jessica Namo and Zana Muno of UCLA, a fairly new pair. We'll talk about them in a minute. Playing against USC's 4s, April Bustamante and Jenna Belton. As the action gets underway, Bustamante going to begin serve for the Trojans. Immediately they were headed for Namo. Namo recently inserted into this pair after coming back from basically 2 years of injuries.
Well, Jessica Namo had a Baker cyst that she had to have removed. That's why she has the tight on the leg to keep it clean, keep that sand out of there. But she's a dynamic athlete, fantastic, has some beach experience, as you see, the knuckle pokey dig. She can do it all.
To the back line as well. Both Namo and Muno indoor players for UCLA's program. Namo had a stellar year this year, coming off the bench and really impacting the Bruins. She was an absolute hero, according to Stein Metzger.
Well, she's got a great all-around game. She's undersized, but she's explosive, has fantastic ball control, and a great volleyball IQ. And then Zana Muno has great beach experience. She's an indoor setter, but on the beach she does it all, and I think defense is her strong point, although she can get up and bang.
On the other side, the serve from Jenna Belton, it goes short. A couple of missed opportunities for SC.
Back-to-back missed serves. April Bustamante started with an error too.
Out strong now on court number 2.
Namo serves outside Belton. Muno pulls off. Hand set from Namo. Pulling off. And too much as Bustamante puts it away.
Good transition by April Bustamante for USC, but for UCLA, they're undersized, so they're going to drop off the net and try and play defense instead of stay at the net and block most of the time.
Muno using the hands, both UCLA players using their hands early. Cuddy doesn't go, and USC looking a little flustered.
Well, I think USC's kind of off to a slow start. 3 unforced errors to start this match, and it's only 4-2 UCLA right now.
Muno with heat. Down the line, dug by Muno. Pokey. and a net violation.
Transition set from Jessica Namo for UCLA, a little too tight for Zana Muno. She tries to get her feet there and poke, but follows into the net underneath at the bottom part.
On court number 2 is number 33 for the women Troy, Zoe Nightingale.
Namo and Muno, good friends, 4-0 record together, but this is their biggest test, their biggest challenge by far. Great chase by Muno, and then down the line, put away.
Wow, Zana Muno so quick, but the ball control to get a hittable set to her partner. Watch this. Look at the control. Apex on that set, and then Namo to hit the impossible line. What a side out for UCLA.
Belton outside. Muno goes to the cross. The little plays big.
I like what UCLA is doing. They're moving in to block the angle of Jenna Belton, the lefty, and then running to the line to dig. First one they dug, second one they blocked.
And a serve on court 2 for Laurel Weaver.
Picked up and shut down as Belton closes the net.
That's the second time Zana Muno has run a ball down. Look at this ball. Pops up Zana Muno again, uses her speed. Good apex, lifts that ball. Her partner needs to go over the block on that one.
Bustamante back to serve. Goes at Namo.
Up to 2. 2 points to lead for the Bruins.
And it's set long.
USC testing Jessica Namo. She's only in her 4th match back in the sand since being cleared. Making a couple errors.
And what do you think of that strategy, testing Namo? Because that puts Muno setting, which is her strength.
It is her strength, but I feel like Zana Muno is the more experienced player on the beach, and she's in a rhythm. She's been playing all season. Jessica Namo just finding her rhythm. She has not matched up against this USC pair yet.
Muno back to serve. UCLA 2-point lead in set 1. Goes wide and an opportunity for SC. Well, we talked about that you would test Namo early if you were USC serving, or if you were UCLA serving SC. Is there somebody in particular you would go after? Put down.
Wow, Jessica Namo, tight ball. Jenna Belton, the USC blocker, needs to grab that ball and front it as a blocker.
As we're watching this court, we're going to keep you updated on the other court as well. It is tied up at 7 apiece for Zojo and Konsani Weaver.
You asked who I would test. I like the strategy of going at Jenna Belton, the lefty, blocking her angle, running to her line, but switching it up and keeping her guessing.
A lot of service errors already in this set.
Already 6 service errors, and it's only 8-7 for UCLA. I mean, keep the ball in the court and let your defense score points.
Well passed by Namo. It is directed towards the defender, and then a use of the block. Well played by Bustamante.
Zana Muno using her hand, setting the ball for UCLA, but Jessica Namo not putting enough hand in direction on the ball to avoid the USC defense, and then April Bustamante with the kill in transition.
They continue to serve Namo. Blocker pulling off down the line by Namo.
Let's see if Zana Muno can get her tough jump serve going. Right now the wind is in her face, so UCLA is on the good side.
What a serve! Chased down, but the redirect goes the wrong way.
Zana Muno just bombed that ball down the line. It's nice when the wind's in your face. I feel like you can be very aggressive, and you see Zana Muno really go after that ball.
Originally at Hermosa Beach, Muno grew up with her toes in the sand. Goes the other way to Bustamante. Pulling off, Namo gets a piece of it.
Zana Muno just trying to go aggressive. That's why she went the other way. She's just trying to bomb her serve and create point-scoring opportunities. April Bustamante attacking the retrieving blocker Namo on that last play.
Pass. Well played.
That time, Jessica Namo for UCLA turning the ball down the line so April Bustamante could not run it down.
Remains a 2-point lead for UCLA. Namo again, this time Belton. Wow, what a turn in the face of Muno.
Jenna Belton challenging the block on that last play.
A full day of action, and these teams started out loose. How about a little dance by USC? They are feeling good. Top team in the nation looking to grab the title today.
Tuesday at 7 on Pac-12 Network.
First match of 4 today, USC and UCLA vying for the Pac-12 team title. Holly, take us through the format today, please.
Today, between the two schools, 5 matches of pairs. Best 3 of 5 wins the duel. So this first flight, pairs 4 and 5 meet from USC and UCLA. Second flight will be pairs 1, 2, and 3 facing off. So the first team to win 3 of those will be determined the winner. First 2 sets to 21. If needed, a third set to 15. You have to win by 2.
We return to the action on court number 1, the 4 pairs. Namo setting Muno. Little shot by Muno. Once again, a Bruin 2-point lead.
And Zana Muno, so much beach experience, has played internationally for the USA. And watch this beautiful cut shot in transition.
Pass is off, trouble play. No one on. Namo does not put it away, and here's an opportunity. Belton grabs it.
Jessica Namo could not put that transition ball away. Great hustle by April Bustamante. Open net. Jenna Belton goes deep middle for the kill.
Another service error in a match plagued by them.
Seesaw battle back and forth. Jessica Namo gets a shot at the back line.
And as we say, another service error here on court 1. That's been the story. And on court 2, Zojo Kremer and Nightingale, USC's pair, with a 5-point lead. Aaron pass, Namo takes a peek at the court.
Jessica Namo there blocking, easy dig by Zana Muno, but I guess on the turn, Jessica Namo must have brushed the net. Unfortunate error for UCLA.
It's tied up at 13 apiece, deficit overcome by USC, small deficit, and a hard serve delivered.
Great up by Jessica Namo. Zana Muno with a good idea to attack on 2, just turn that ball with her hand a little bit too much.
USC's first lead of this set, and 2 great serves by Bustamante. Bustamante coming alive. 2 great serves and a kill.
April Bustamante on fire for USC, and then the beautiful transition kill down the line. This USC run really started with the tough serving of April Bustamante. They're keeping the pressure on Jessica Namo, and if she gets a little tweak in the pass, they're really putting a lot of pressure on her to side out. But now Jessica Namo switching to the right side, putting Zana Muno on the left, seeing if that will work better. April Bustamante recognizes that and switches her location.
And it's enough to have her serve a little bit out.
And that's what you want to do. You want to give your opponent a different look, and sometimes that's what happens.
In set number 1.
Belton up, line is covered, so she just goes over it.
Well, it starts with a good pass. Jenna Belton passing that ball extremely well, and then it's an easy side out over the block.
Namo passes off. Muno makes a nice save. Nobody on. Bustamante puts up a hittable ball, and it's just poked to the back line.
Great hustle play, and then Jenna Belton with a deep pokey. Let's watch this again. Zanamuna with her track shoes on, keeping it alive, but then USC does it on the other side of the net with a deep pokey that hits the back line.
And that is enough for Zanamuna and Jessica Namo to call a break. A timeout called as Belton and Bustamante meet with their court coach as well. And it has been something. Allie Wood Lamerson talking with them. Meanwhile, Jenny Johnson-Jordan talking with Muno and Namo.
Well, I felt like this match was so even till about 13-all, and then USC came up with some big serves. Feel like their side-out game has solidified, and then some unforced errors by Jessica Namo, and that's really been the difference.
Muno and Namo just started playing together a couple of weeks ago. CSUN and LMU, 2 of their wins before they got to this tournament, and then won 2 more. And then 2 courts of action happening, and right now USC in control on both courts. Kremer and Nightingale with a 6-point lead over Kansani and Weaver in set 1.
Both these matchups are pretty even, but USC right now, middle of the match is when they're making the pull away, and that's important. You want to pull away and create some space so you can finish the match.
Back to the action on court 1. Belton at the service line, goes down the line at Namo. She's up. Namo peeks one through the block.
And that time, Jessica Namo staying on the right side, gets the side out.
They continue to go after Belton. And as Muno planned to take cross court, just was a little longer than she was.
Well, it was good recognition by Jenna Belton. I don't know if her partner was calling that, but high cross court to that corner, tough ball to defend.
April Bustamante with a missed serve there. Originally, Anna Collier said a lot of people thought of Bustamante as an attacker. She saw her more as a defender and has worked with her this entire season as being the defender on that team.
Well, April Bustamante was a middle blocker in college. She played back row, but she can hit, she can block, she's got nice size, but she's very athletic and quick enough to defend, and that's how Anna Collier sees her in this volleyball program. Right there, Zana Muno, quick cross court for the kill, down by 1, 17-18. And there you see Coach Anna Collier, 5th season as the Trojans head coach, and I'll tell you, she wants this NCAA title. She's talked about it for years. This is her goal.
Yeah, this USC team won the national title, the ABCA title, last year, both as a team and pairs, but it means so much to them to have that NCAA title first year as an NCAA-sponsored sport.
It's a big difference, but I'll tell you, USC has made the adjustment. They know UCLA's blocking angle, running to the line. Now UCLA has to counter that.
Continuing to go at Namo. And the errors. Everything looks good until that smackdown flaw.
Unfortunate for UCLA. It's some unforced errors that have been the difference.
Set point, USC. By Namo, high line.
Good pass, nice set, well executed over the block down the line.
Belton and Bustamante at USC have had great success, 26-6 this year. It remains a set point for them. Nice serve by Namo. But Belton, first the pass and then the put away. Set 1, USC.
Big side out by Jenna Belton, starting with a great pass, open net, attacking that middle, perfect location.
And so let's join the action over on court 2. The 5 pairs. Zojo, Joe Kremer, and Zoe Nightingale of USC with a 7-point lead over Julie Kansani and Laurel Weaver. USC serving tough on court 2. 5 aces for them.
The serve goes.
Zoe Nightingale going after that serve. Looked like it just missed the back line. I thought it was an ace.
Nightingale goes to the line.
UCLA testing the bigger of the two, Zoe Nightingale, knowing she likes to hit the ball, but I feel like Zoe Nightingale has really come along as a beach player. Brought up her level, seen the open shot down the line and taking it.
Well, and Zoe Nightingale knows these UCLA players very well. She was on their indoor team, won a national title with them, and then spent 1 year on their beach team before coming over to USC to get her master's.
You're right, but the story of that first set with the USC victory was the 5 aces, and then the last play too, not a great pass by UCLA.
8 kills by Zoe Nightingale in that first set. When we come back, the Bruins have some work to do. Will they be able to grab set 2 and force it to a 3? 4 and 5 pairs continue.
How many gasolines clean?
And it's another reason to go west. Bank of the West.
Inside Merle Norman Stadium, team championship day for the Pac-12. This is the winners bracket semifinal, UCLA and USC. 2 courts of action going on right now. We're going to leave Belton, Bustamante, Muno, and Namo and go take a look at the action on court 2 with the 5 pairs. USC's Kremer and Nightingale took set number 1. We'll see if there's been any adjustments by Consani and Weaver for set 2.
Well, the story was USC serving 5 aces, put lots of pressure on UCLA, and then Zoe Nightingale has been tested in really answering that call. So let's see if UCLA goes at Joe Kremer, the right-sider for USC.
And it also started with a 4-0 run by USC. Those deficits hard to overcome. Here comes Kremer. You're going to do go at her. And there's a put away from Weaver.
Good dig and transition. Steinmetzger loves this team. He calls them his consummate professional team. They're always early, getting extra reps, fired up, ready to compete for his team.
Back to serve again is April Bustamante.
Come on, line.
Kremer looking for the back line.
Kremer just long, and UCLA off to a better start. I think they match up defensively better trying to go against Joe Kremer, the smaller of the 2 players.
Weaver serve again, continues to pressure Kremer. Consani challenging at the net, and it's a Bruin point.
That ball set a little bit tight. Julie Consani all over that ball. Good start for UCLA.
UCLA out to a 3-0 lead. Weaver continuing to serve at Kremer. Kremer takes a peek, goes down the line, and USC stops the run. Steinmetzger, you mentioned, head coach of UCLA, has found depth in his program this year.
He certainly has, and I talked to Sean Fallowfield, the assistant coach for UCLA as well. He talked about the depth and the chemistry so much better this year. Having that depth really pushes the level of your whole program.
You mentioned Sean Fallowfield. Steinmetzger said he refers to Fallowfield as his couples therapist, working with the pairs.
And after talking to him, I know why. He's very soft-spoken, knows the right thing to say, and he prides himself in that.
Well, that one, hubby-wife, has both thought it was going to go long. It ends up down the middle, hitting the back line. Nightingale.
What a hustle play by Laurel Weaver to save that ball, and then a double contact by USC. Shank there, but Laurel Weaver saves it. Julie Consani goes down the line, and because Zoe Nightingale's hands are not together, she is not allowed to dig that ball unless it's hit with heat.
Consani sets Weaver. Weaver puts it away.
The defense for UCLA really picking it up. Nice side change, up 5-2 over USC.
Consani, also a former indoor setter. She arrived at UCLA with the intention of playing outdoor. Meanwhile, on the other court, catching up, fairly even match between Muno, Namo, Belton, and Bustamante.
Zana Muno, Jessica Namo making some big plays, keeping it much closer in the second set.
Meanwhile, Kremer answering the call as they continue to go at her.
Back to serve now.
But still a good start. Clean down the line shot by Joe Kremer for USC.
Zoe Nightingale's transformation as a beach player from an indoor middle blocker has been impressive.
Well, it certainly has. She played beach for UCLA last year, but I feel like she's so much more confident, and she gets to train here at USC with one of the best pairs in the country, Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes. Training against the best helps really up your game.
They switch sides again there. The Bruins.
We were here for senior day just recently as they said goodbye to Nightingale. Her third senior day. She had 2 at UCLA and then 1 here. Really making the most of her academic and athletic opportunities. Weaver back to serve. UCLA wanted to hold on to this lead. What a snap down by Kremer. And a pickup by Consani.
How about the dig by Julie Consani? She dropped off the net, left the net open for Joe Kremer, but she drops, and this is a basically self-defense gator dig. Laurel Weaver with the crafty bump over on 2 in the kill.
Little shot over the hands of Consani.
Joe Kremer has been really good. I believe all her kills in this second set have been that overline shot.
And so, Holly, how should they adjust to that?
Well, you can block angle and run to the line and do that at the last second, thinking that you're giving Joe Kremer that same defensive look and mixing it up.
Come on, Joe. Right here, just let.
Nice pick up there, and then the little shot from Kremer.
Joe Kremer's got great beach experience, and when she digs a ball and has a good set in front of her, she knows how to use the court from the left side. Nice cut shot.
These 2 USC athletes coming from USC's 2 biggest football rival schools, UCLA and Notre Dame. Kremer was at Notre Dame, transferred here with the beach program there, didn't materialize.
Yeah, she was really disappointed that they didn't create a beach program. She went there with all intentions to play beach. So here she is at USC playing on the #1 team in the country. Good execution by Julie Consani for UCLA. Zoe Nightingale, her roommate and best friend, dropping off the net, and they're laughing about it, dropping it short for the UCLA point.
So in coaching in beach volleyball, you're only allowed to say a few words to your player in a slow walk on the side change.
Correct. So as you switch sides, your coach walks, gives you a little bit of advice. During the timeout, they can sit you down and talk, but that's it on the side change.
The indoor coaches really like it when their players do play beach because they say it teaches them to work out some of the problems on their own. You don't get that same kind of atmosphere in indoor volleyball. A timeout's called, and there's your discussion.
Well, it's nice to be able to figure out a solution when you're struggling. Right there, Joe Kremer goes up and battles, winning that joust at the net. This ball set tight to the net. Joe Kremer goes up and jousts, and it's simultaneous, so it looks like she's open-handing that, but she's allowed to do that on the tight ball on the joust.
Zoe Nightingale back to serve as USC looking to press. They have trailed this entire set. Nightingale, huge block in front.
Go, go, go!
And Kremer, again, the high line.
High line is money for Joe Kremer. UCLA needs to make an adjustment.
On court 1, the 4 pairs, still a very tight set. It looks like Muno and Namo have made the adjustment. The score has been tied 4 times. It's now 10-11. Court 2 tied up at 8. USC looking to take their first lead of this set. And they do so on the block of Zoe Nightingale.
Laurel Weaver going up aggressive against the very strong blocker, Zoe Nightingale. If I'm playing against Zoe Nightingale, I want to take her blocking out of the equation. That's what she does best. Chip around, frustrate her so she's not impacting the match.
Yeah, that is her home. I mean, certainly where she feels most comfortable. USC with their first lead of this set.
The serve goes out of bounds. Point for
Now all tied up.
Back to serve is Julie
Early
Consani.
in the season, USC head coach Anna Collier called Kremer and Nightingale, her two turtles, said, I appreciate that they're mellow, but they can be a little bit hippie, as she said, neither intensity up. They have seemed to have rectified that problem.
Right here, just left.
They are intense and energetic. What a shot, picked up. On one, on two.
Good control, and I like Zoe Nightingale taking advantage of the open net and hammering it for USC. Starts with a great dig on the cut shot, but goes over the net, and then Zoe Nightingale gets a second chance.
Serve goes just out of bounds. Point for the women at 2.
Nightingale waiting to
Knocks it
pounce.
up at 11.
Consani goes where she's directed. Kremer doesn't dig it.
And Julie Consani knows Zoe Nightingale is a great blocker and avoids her.
Court number 2.
Tied up at 10 apiece. Consani spent a lot of the summer training, getting stronger. Holly, what's been the difference in her game from last year to this?
Well, if you talk to Stein Metzger, he says night and day. I feel like her confidence, her passing, she was an indoor setter. Much more consistent all-around game.
A 1-point game on court number 2 as USC and UCLA battle it out. First flight of action inside Merle Norman Stadium on the campus of USC. We've been watching the 5 pairs. We're going to take a dip over into court 1 of the 4 pairs. There have been 6 ties in this second set between Belton and Bustamante and Namo and Muno.
And Jessica Namo staying on the right side. She started the match on the left, but has had more success siding out from the right side of the court.
And that is the 7th tie of these 2 pairs.
Again, Zana Muno, great top spin jump server. With the wind in her face, she's going to be aggressive.
Right down the middle. They continue to go after Belton. She delivers one down the middle, but long.
Jenna Belton has been really good hitting that deep middle ball when they open up the net. That one 1 inch long.
Now it's even at 11. Laura Weaver back to serve.
This one to Belton. Or excuse me, to Bustamante, and she puts it away.
Well, I feel like if you're UCLA, I know Zana Munoz trying to be aggressive, but you just scored a point on Jenna Belton. Why are you going to April Bustamante and taking the pressure off Belton?
Yeah, that ended a 4-1 UCLA run. And now Bustamante. Tough serve at Muno. Here comes Bustamante, calling for it, and turns it down the line.
Transition set by Jessica Namo to Zana Muno, too tight, and she's forced to poke it and can't put it away. And then USC takes advantage of that opportunity.
Tragic error there, really. It tied up 16 apiece again.
Well, you need to stay focused on that aggressive serve. April Bustamante's got a great one, just lost her focus.
Back to serve on court number 2.
It gives an opportunity to UCLA in the 8th tie of this set. What a cut shot. Sharp by Belton.
Jenna Belton takes advantage. The ball is set tight. She goes up and turns it. Gets a little piece of the net, too. I think that helps it drop a little quicker. Bigger blocker goes out and grabs that ball, perhaps, but this one, another tough serve. 2 strong points by USC. Jenna Belton kept Jessica Namo long. I thought that ball was wide, but didn't get her feet there, and then easy USC point. 3rd ace of the set by USC as they have a 2-point lead. And I felt like this is how the first set went. I felt like USC pulled ahead a little bit earlier, but now, you know, they stay even till the middle, and then USC pulls away. UCLA needs to respond, side out, keep the pressure on with their defense. USC on a 4-1 run. These are 2 of the top teams in the nation. USC #1 overall. Of course, these teams all looking to get to the national championship tournament. In USC, UCLA have great shots at qualifying for the NCAA tournament next weekend. 3 from the West region, 3 from the East region, and 2 at-large bids for the next 2 highest ranked teams, basically, or who the committee considers the next 2 best teams.
Yeah, so a lot of pressure on Arizona today in this team championship. I mean, if they have a great showing here today, they are going to force the committee to consider them. Hawaii certainly in great shape for the tournament. They ended up with a strong win. They played the top teams in the nation all season long.
Hawaii had a great conference tournament yesterday, and I think that really boosts their chance qualifying for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and Hawaii's only losses in the year are to the top 3 teams in the nation, to UCLA, USC, and Pepperdine.
And that's important when being considered who did you lose to, so no bad losses.
USC's 4-1 run turns into a 5-1 run and a hubby wife ace.
Big time serve for Jenna Belton. We've seen that serve where she kind of goes laterally on the service line and then goes right down the middle.
4th ace of this set. And again, it's a pair that hasn't played together very much. That's where you usually will see that. Foot off the gas.
But USC on the good side, wind in their face. Can UCLA generate some points from the bad side?
Continuing to go at Belton. Pass is not what they want. Bustamante makes it better. Namo, Cuddy.
Good talk by Zanamuno, starting with a great transition set. Jessica Namo, cut shot along the net, trailing 18-19 in this must-win for them, the second set.
Muno back to serve. This is a big point for UCLA, tying it up or handing match point to USC. And Bustamante has a big arm. Big block by Namo, tied up.
That is a big play for UCLA because the play before, they had lost a point-scoring opportunity with a weird transition set, and then Jessica Namo comes up big with the cross-court block.
Huge 3-0 run by the Bruins. A great serve, and it's a 4-0 run. It is set point, UCLA.
Wow. What a change of momentum, UCLA creating it with some big plays.
That is a huge moment on that last play, an opportunity to either make it this or hand USC match point. Let's go to the action on court 2 while court 1 takes this break. USC with a 2-point lead late in. You'll remember that Kremer and Nightingale won set number 1.
But UCLA led early in that second set, had a good start. We're going after Kremer, but USC has pulled away.
Nightingale serves Weaver.
Come on, Joe!
Well put away.
Beautiful cut shot. This time, Laura Weaver chooses to avoid Zoe Nightingale, and it pays off. Down just by 1 in this second set. Again, this is a must-win set for UCLA.
Yeah, the Bruins rallying on both courts, really about the mental toughness here. And it's going to be set point on court number 1, but on court 2, big point as Kremer takes a big swing. Nightingale, no one on. Down the middle.
Zoe Nightingale with the slide approach, going off 1 foot, something she did indoors all the time, puts it away down the middle for USC.
Eyes on the right side of your screen as it is set point for UCLA. And no, says Belton, tied up at 20 apiece.
That time UCLA doubled up in the angle versus Jenna Belton, and it did not pay off.
2 courts of action, Bruins fighting for their lives on both courts. And a service error by Bustamante, the 4th for USC, opens it up a bit. It is again set point right side of your court for Muno and Namo.
You got it. Right here.
Muno digs. Namo puts it away. And court number 1, the 4 pairs will go to a 3rd and deciding set.
Much better plays defensively for UCLA to pull that second set off. It's going to be an interesting set 3.
Yeah, UCLA ended that on a 6-1 run. Meanwhile, let's take a look at court 2. Tied up at 19 apiece. UCLA must win to force this one to a third set. Kremer puts it away, and it is match point USC.
Most of Joe Kremer's kills for USC going down the line or in that vicinity of the court.
Zoe Nightingale serving for the match. Serve is long, extra points.
And the Bruins feel new life, game to 2 right now.
Weaver serving. Can UCLA push it to a third and deciding set as their counterparts on court 1 did? What a beautiful shot. So smart by Kremer.
Ball was set tight. Joe Kremer elevates, poking deep line again.
Consani with a huge Nightingale in front of her.
That is something Julie Consani worked her butt off all summer long on her hitting. When you're an indoor setter, you don't get the chance to swing. She gets up and bangs that to save match point.
Yeah, on both of these Bruin teams that we're seeing right now, they have a setter. Gianna Muno, also an indoor setter, who we have seen absolutely crank on the ball as well.
And that's something you have to learn if you're going to transition to the beach game. You have to learn how to put the ball away offensively.
Well, you've said that, an NCAA championship setter yourself, and yet you received every serve of your professional career.
Go, Joe. Right here, this way.
Kremer goes to the line. Consani's got it.
No one take.
Nightingale on the chase.
Where?
Consani sets Weaver. Uh-oh. Consani calling. I got it up. Help me out. Long rally. Who has the fitness? The turn. Too much. SC with the point.
The rally of the day so far with so much on the line. Great digs by UCLA to keep it alive, but USC has the answer.
Timeout called by Stein Metzger for his UCLA team of Consani and Weaver, in part perhaps to talk to them and in part to give them a moment to take a breath.
Absolutely. Give them a breather, get them refocused on what they need to do to stay in this match.
Stein Metzger knows of what he speaks, an incredible beach volleyball player himself during his playing career. Played in the Olympics.
And boy, was he fiery. He could do it all. Really long arms, was strong at the net, great defensively, but you see the fire in that left-hand corner. Fun to watch.
Stein Metzger has enjoyed this season so much. You'll see later on the McNamara twins, his #1 pair. He said they elevated this program coming in with their work ethic, but UCLA strong 1 through 5, and we're seeing that with this 5 pair of Julie Consani and Laurel Weaver.
Well, if you want to win an NCAA championship, you need to be deep. You're seeing a super high level, and these are the 5 pairs for UCLA and USC. All Americans battling it out at the 5 spot, so you need depth if you want to win a title.
It is match point for USC. Kremer and Nightingale took set 1 decisively. Consani and Weaver, major adjustments, and they are now tight in extra points.
Third match point right now for USC.
All right, here we go, ladies.
Kremer back to serve. Trouble already for USC. It's set long, and that will end the match as Kremer and Nightingale take it in extra points over Consani and Weaver.
What an exciting end, but USC able to hold on and win it.
So the first point on the board. USC leads 1-0 in this duel. When we come back, we'll go to the third set of the 4 pairs.
3 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list.
USC struck first, getting the first point of this duel over UCLA, but the action in the third set, the 4 pairs are pressing on court number 1, and UCLA started, Holly, on a 5-1 run in this third set.
Well, they've been hitting on all cylinders. Zana Munoz so great defensively, good from the service line, and Jessica Namo cleaning up her play, making less errors. That's been the difference.
Belton, dug by Muno. Uh-oh, that's a tough set. Belton, dug by Namo. She's at the net. Namo goes off her hands.
Zana Muno has had to deal with some crazy transition sets because she digs so many balls. She puts herself in a position, but saves it, keeps it alive, and gives UCLA another opportunity to go up in this match.
As we talk about Jessica Namo coming back after 2 years of injury on and off, there's also a fitness component to beach in terms of getting your legs under you, just no matter how great you are. Jenny Johnson-Jordan talking right now to Namo and Muno. Again, the staff of UCLA loaded with Olympians.
Jenny Johnson-Jordan, a star indoors at UCLA. Her father, Rafer Johnson, a famous Olympian, of course. And then she and longtime partner Annette Davis had great success on the beach. They were 2000 USA Beach Volleyball Olympians. Just a class act, and she's a calming factor. She's not one of those emotional coaches on the beach, but she's keeping them based and focused and doing a great job at UCLA.
Holly, to Muno and Namo, what's your advice to them in trying to finish out this set? Get a point for UCLA.
Stay focused. They've made some adjustments defensively, and they've cleaned up the errors. Less errors, putting the pressure on USC, and right now, it's working for them. Interesting, the teammates sitting so far apart from each other. I don't know if it's a shade issue, but Coach Anna Collier watching from behind the light pole.
Sun is hot today. We'll give them that benefit of the doubt early on as Namo is back to serve. Now they realize service rotation. It's going to be Muno's turn. She's got a fiery jump serve.
Dangerous weapon.
They're asking to check and make sure that this is indeed the service rotation. Jenna Belton.
Yeah, if you're USC, you don't want Zana Muno on the line.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why. Beautiful serve. Belton, though, handles it. And that's the hit by Zana Muno. So smart.
Well, it starts with the great serve and then the fantastic overhand dig. Not enough people use this dig. Overhand dig, you can grab it when it's hard driven like that, and she knows how to get up and terminate.
I don't know that we see another team that both players use hands as effectively as Namo and Muno. A 3-0 run for UCLA. Can they stretch it to 4? Muno digs. Whoa.
What a recovery for USC. Jessica Namo for UCLA going up to hit that transition ball. I don't know if her leg gave out on her or what, but she was able to keep it in play. Watch her. Oh, it was Zana Muno. Her leg gave out. She went deep corner, but April Bustamante, wow, from way off the net, sharp angle. Big USC point.
Yeah, for Bustamante, her first kill of this set with that broken play. Namo, right through the middle.
Jessica Namo looks much more comfortable from the right side, seeing the court well, taking the middle for the kill.
You got it. Right here. You got line.
Off the hands of Jessica Namo.
Big USC kill. Jenna Belton getting a little touch off the block to drop in her favor.
Namo cross-court dug by Bustamante. And what a play by Bustamante. Couldn't turn it the other way, went off the hands.
Well, that's one of the things that April Bustamante, as a defender, can do. She's tall, she's got the range to put it away, even when it's not an ideal set. April Bustamante has been jump serving. She stayed on the ground, I believe, to keep the ball in play, just missing that long.
Yeah, third service error for USC in this set. No aces, of course, in part because they're being a little more careful. Muno, missed toss, ends up poking it for her serve.
Zana Muno so quick. If she would have got there with her left hand, she would have dug that ball. Started with a weird toss on her jump serve. She keeps it in play, but see, left hand allows you to bring the ball back towards your partner. Right hand tough.
Continuing to go at Namo. Little off the net.
Defense able to get a touch on the ball at the net, and then you see Jenna Belton, and then she turns. Weird angle for a lefty, but able to trickle it down in front of Zana Muno.
Continuing at Namo. Smart.
Good hand shot. She got top spin on that. Jessica Namo, well executed.
And Namo back to serve.
Namo back to serve. UCLA closing in on getting a point for the Bruins. Bustamante up. Well played by Bustamante.
UCLA trying their luck at April Bustamante, but well executed cut shot for the side out.
Back to serve the freshman for the women's Troy.
Pulling off, no one on. Nicely dug by Bustamante, the defender. No, uses her hands, even though she's falling backwards. It's clean. Gator.
What a play, both sides of the net, great defense, and then April Bustamante, big time dig on that short cut shot.
4-1 USC run to close this gap.
Side out is key right now for UCLA. They want to switch sides up 14-11, and they are in serve receive right now. Jenny Johnson-Jordan keeping them focused, telling them it's very simple, one play at a time.
Yeah, this run by USC can be rattling. Of course, Namo seeing every ball as you'd expect.
It's been a fun match. Some great defensive plays on both sides of the net. We've seen some great serving by Zana Muno.
Coming up in the next flight of games, the best pair in the nation, Clays and Hughes, have been absolutely incredible this season, undefeated. They are 42-0 this season.
And really have continued to push their level all season long. It's impressive.
This is a big match for UCLA. If they can tie this up, put all the pressure on the first flight of matches, and now it is match point UCLA.
Interesting, Jessica Namo, she's been right side most of the match, makes the switch back to the left side where she's very comfortable, gets up and bangs that ball for the side out.
Muno brings heat. And in the net, UCLA takes the match and gets their first point of the duel.
Wow, big comeback by UCLA, putting the pressure on and responding after that first set loss.
That was a big one, as the duel is now tied at 1 apiece.
Very exciting stuff. I think we're going to see battles on every single court today.
All the pressure will be on the first 3 teams as it is tied up at 1 apiece. More beach volleyball coming up next.
And when we walk into the bank, we feel like family.
We're so glad you could join us for brunch today on Pac-12 Network. USC and UCLA tied up at 1 apiece. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Holly and I are happy to have a guest in the booth, Nicole Branna.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here today.
Well, we wanted to talk about what you've seen so far from the level of these two teams.
I am so impressed. Really high level out here today. Great long rallies. UCLA had some great times in there to get back up when SC was ahead, and we just saw a great match here against the number 3 team, or 4 team, I think it was.
Those are the 4s, yeah.
Okay.
I think the level has been spectacular. You're right. We saw the 5s and the 4s for USC and UCLA, but just the level of the game at a really high level.
Nicole, looking ahead in terms of what we expect to see in this first 1, 2s, and 3 pairs, you're going to see Clays and Hughes again. A 42-0 team this year, undefeated. What makes them so special?
Very impressive. Well, first of all, they have great chemistry. They've played together now a while, and I saw them last year on the AVP, and they have great chemistry together. They're consistent. They move the ball around well.
Did you play against them last year on the AVP?
I didn't, no. But a lot of other teams had a lot of trouble with them. They had some great wins against top teams. So I think, coming out today after they just won the pairs championship, they've got more confidence and exciting to see them play.
Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, when they train, they talk about pushing the level. They said, you know what? Is Carrie Walsh going to block that ball? They're not playing to the college level. They're thinking of the highest level, and that when we talked to them on Friday, that's what they said. They said, look, we think, okay, if they're touching that ball, April Ross is going to dig that and put it away. So I think that really helps push the level, and it's a really mature way to approach it, always raising the bar and trying to push your game even when you're undefeated.
Absolutely. You need to find that extra push when you're already the top to kind of keep getting you up against it. You don't want to be stagnant and just be happy winning's great, but you want to keep getting better.
I think Friday against the Witt sisters, we saw them get pushed, and I think that's healthy. I think they want to be pushed because then they've been tested. You don't want to lose your first match at NCAAs.
Yeah, Nicole, looking at these teams, we know that they're all trying to have great showings in order to prepare for Gulf Shores, Alabama for the NCAA championship. What do you think both of these teams need to accomplish to be prepared for next week?
I think having a great weekend here, playing well consistently. I noticed a little bit of communication breakdown in those other matches at certain points in the game. So just kind of getting those little kinks out to make sure next week when you're ready, you don't have those situations.
The growth of this game, certainly college volleyball, beach volleyball wasn't available to you or Holly when you were playing in college. What does it mean for the growth of the sport overall to have these options for beach only for athletes coming up?
I think it's a great opportunity for these women to come into college, have a chance to play beach volleyball. I've said it before, and when I say it'll help our country's strength, I mean overall. We have great top teams. I think overall we'll be a lot deeper and be able to challenge the world on another level.
I feel like this collegiate explosion of talent and young players playing at a high level like we're seeing, it's going to help our U.S. representation overseas on the FIVB Tour, in the Olympics. We have April Ross and Carrie Walsh, but after that there's a big gap, and these players like Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes are going to fill those gaps.
Well, we're going to see Clays and Hughes coming up next. Nicole, thanks for joining us in the booth. We're going to see if Clays and Hughes can continue their streak. They won the pairs. They are undefeated this season, and they'll be on court 1 next.
How many gasolines clean better than Chevron with
Wednesday at 7 on Pac-12 Network.
Tied up at 1 apiece in Los Angeles. Yeah, these teams go in Hollywood perhaps, as all the action, all the pressure happening right now at USC inside Merle Norman Stadium. Taking a look at our match summary, Holly, what an exciting first flight of games.
Absolutely. Tied up 1-1 after the first 2 matches, but we saw the pairs The 4 pairs go to 3 sets, and UCLA pulling off the upset.
Yeah, and that was really big because the difference now is really falls on this flight rather than if it had been USC eking out that third set, the 4 pairs would have been 2-0.
Correct. Yeah. If you're down 0-2, you know everything rides on this flight. But right now, 1-1. It's all even in a new game.
So 3 games of action, 3 courts of action happening at the same time. Martin Wheeler carries Appia on 3. On 2, it's going to be Bukovic and Strange, Tan and Schmidt. But we're going to start our attention and action on court 1, and why not? 2 fantastic pairs, the identical twins, the McNamara sisters, Nicole and Megan of UCLA, versus the undefeated Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes.
Yes, it's interesting because for the McNamara twins, they lost to the Witt twins in the pairs tournament, but they beat them in the duel. So hopefully rebounded from that loss and can challenge Clays and Hughes in this match.
Well, Clays and Hughes have been perfect all season long, only dropping 1 set all year long, and it was to the McNamaras. That point that UCLA took off of USC, by the way, Holly, the first ever point that UCLA has won against USC.
Good stat, I didn't know that.
Just remember that it has been complete USC domination. Sarah Hughes serving. Clays shutting the door.
Well, UCLA right now being tested. Nicole McNamara, the right side player. She's a left-handed hitter and struggling the first 2 side-out attempts to put the ball away against Clays and Hughes.
Again, Clays just shutting the door. Second effort from Megan makes it go.
Well, I think there's an adjustment at the beginning of the match, is how big Kelly Clays is at the net. She's big, but she's quick too, pressing her hands over the net, and that can really affect a hitter. So it takes a little time to get used to if you haven't played somebody of that size.
Right down the middle, but no question, Clays knows it's her ball.
Kelly Clays loves to get up and swing hard. Passes that middle ball, and then quick, you see her just pop off the ground. She's very dynamic.
Down the line, clearly they're going to make Nicole McNamara do work, and she's happy to do it.
Well, one of the strengths of the McNamaras, Nicole and her sister Megan, is their ball control. They're not huge, but they do everything well. They pass, they set, they hit. The difference yesterday when they were able to beat the Witt sisters from Arizona was aggressive serving, which really sets up their defense. That time a service error, but look for them to serve and put pressure on Clays and Hughes.
Hughes with a very tough serve, generally goes again at Nicole. Lefty goes down the line. What a nice set from Kelly Clays.
That line shot by Nicole McNamara usually goes down, but Sarah Hughes with her quick feet runs, barely has to dive to get that up, and then gets up. Beautiful transition kill from the left side.
When we talked with Nicole Branna between flights, she talked about them against the pros. Holly, do they look like pro players already to you?
Oh, they do a lot of things at the pro level for sure. They can beat some very strong teams. I don't know many teams at the pro level who do what they do. That's why I feel like their level really is going to boost USA on the international level.
Clays and Hughes won the ABCA pairs title last year. Worth noting because there is no pairs championship this year as part of the NCAA championship. So they're going to have to give up that part of the game. On the other hand, they will remain the defending national pairs champions until that's reinstated.
But I think they're going to look forward to getting out on the pro tour and really testing their skills.
Nicole looking for hands and gets it.
Micro touch. I barely saw it, but Kelly Clay said there was a small touch.
Hughes says straight up. And that's so she can turn it down the line.
For UCLA, you need to get a little tweak in the pass against USC, and I'm not saying that's easy, but that's what your goal is. So serving seams, serving short, deep, getting some movement so it's not an easy side-out play for USC, because really they're physically a lot bigger than UCLA.
Especially Clays, who's at the net right now. Nicole McNamara goes up.
That ball drops in right on the line. Nicole McNamara right now struggling to beat Kelly Clays at the net. I'll tell you, if I'm Nicole McNamara, I would consider hitting a back set just to create some movement and space for her to put the ball away.
Clays again, and this time going over her.
There, Nicole McNamara pokes a short shot over the big block of Kelly Clays for the side out.
On court two, Bukovic and Strange of USC with a 3-point lead over Tan and Schmidt. Nicole McNamara back to serve. And just a knuckle turn by Kelly Clays.
Kelly Clays explosive. I talked about, you want to tweak in the pass. Not so easy to do, but you got to go for it because that's the only way you're going to beat her. See Coach Dane Blanton for USC talking to Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, keeping them focused on what they need to do.
On court three, UCLA's Carey and Zappia with a 2-point lead over Martin and Wheeler. USC. Ball heading towards the court, so it'll be a replay before Clays even makes contact.
Nicolette Martin back to serve now on court number 3. And a block
powerful at Megan McNamara. No one on. McNamara puts it away.
Good kill off a very tough serve. Down the middle, tags the tape. This time Megan McNamara gets a shot. That's set a little bit off the net, but she handles it.
No one on for Kelly Clays. Missed opportunity.
Well, there's the tweak in the pass, a little bit of a different angle that Kelly Clays isn't used to, and it pays off for UCLA.
For the Bruins, point on court number 3.
Big dig, defensive effort. Nicole McNamara up against Hughes. Ripped.
Hughes is the same size as the McNamaras, but she elevates, hangs, and can bang cross court.
Back to serve up by 1.
Nicole McNamara turns it off of Clays' hands.
Good, challenging the block, finding a way to put the ball away against the big block and strong defense of USC.
Back to serve again, up by 2.
Hughes. Big block by Megan McNamara.
Megan McNamara stays at the net that time. Beautiful block executed. Starting from the serve, testing Sarah Hughes out, and then good block execution.
Pulling off this time, Hughes goes little.
Sarah Hughes has all the shots, responds, stops the bleeding, and then Kelly Clays back at the line.
This tournament is huge for these Pac-12 teams, especially 2 or 3 of them heading to the national championship. For Clays and Hughes, they had a tough match against Witt in the pairs final the other day. McNamara is right now challenging them hard. Hughes, high line.
I think it's good to be pushed, and it's good for all these teams to see where they're at heading into NCAAs.
Clays and Hughes with a 3-point lead in set number 1. In control, tied up at 1 apiece in the duel.
Download Pac-12 now so you can watch your team anytime, anywhere.
UCLA takes their first point ever off of USC in this earlier part of this duel, but plenty of action happening right now. It's tied up at 1 apiece. This is the winner's bracket semifinal. 3 courts of action happening right now. Vukovic and Strange leading on court 2, but we're going to return to the action on court 1, where Clays and Hughes, the undefeated pair of USC, are playing against the tough McNamara twins. Megan McNamara, Clays in front of her. Another great up by Sarah Hughes.
Net violation by Kelly Clays at the net, but great defensive plays on both sides. Kelly Clays being really aggressive at the net, gets it with her forearm.
Megan McNamara back to serve.
Clays just turns it the other way.
Kelly Clays has the size advantage at the net, sees the open court and takes it.
Holly, they seem to be serving Clays quite a bit, but as a result, or even if it's between, Clays takes the ball. Is that because Hughes is so good ball handling wise? Because Clays is huge.
Yeah, you know, I think they're trying to create an area where they can get a tweak in the pass, and Kelly Clays sometimes likes to hammer the ball no matter where she is, and will make an unforced hitting error.
Here Hughes gets the first one, but the pass is no good, and it's a UCLA point.
Right now, it seems like UCLA just kind of going for the serve, really attacking the middle.
Another ace. What a big one from Nicole McNamara.
Big time. It's an interesting angle as a lefty serving out of the middle. The ball curves away from Sarah Hughes, but just stays middle.
Line!
Going line. Coming up a little bit short is Nicole McNamara.
Good little run for UCLA. They need to stay with this USC team and side out.
We talked about Sean Fallowfield being the couples therapist for UCLA, and Steinmetzger said, in part, it's for the McNamara twins, who, although very close and play very well together, sometimes when it's your sibling, you'd say things you wouldn't normally say, and so he has to say, hey, you're partners, not siblings here.
Correct, and there you see Kelly Clays bomb the cross-court serve, getting an ace on Megan McNamara in the angle. But yes, when I'm a twin, I played with my brother, and we were not so nice to each other because it's different when you're siblings.
And you're a very nice person. I can vouch for that. You are. Kelly Clays down the line. Nicole knows she's in front of her and just has the perfect angle.
Well executed cut shot by Nicole McNamara, the lefty.
And it's tied at 14 now on.
You know, we keep saying Nicole McNamara, the lefty. For the viewer trying to tell them apart, we get it. It's tough. Look for the tape on Nicole's shoulder. On the left shoulder, that tells you which one's the lefty. The easy cheat.
Thank goodness, because they are very identical looking. Nicole McNamara also wears number 13, and Megan McNamara, the mirror image in terms of numbers, in 31 at the service line.
Tied up at 15 apiece. Hughes. Nice dig, defensive dig by Nicole. And she used her right hand. No, she used her left for that, as I look back at
it. Great defensive move by Nicole, and then cross-court cut shot misses by a centimeter.
Good smiles, though, from the McNamara twins, meaning they're feeling relaxed. Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays being pushed. Clays and Hughes have lost one set all year long, and it was to these twins.
Nicole McNamara trying to go high line, maybe get some hands, but misses that ball long for UCLA.
Hughes in the angle. Megan up. Hughes has the right idea, no touch, and it's wide.
Sarah Hughes elevates, sees a line opening, tries to hammer, just missing it wide. She doesn't make too many errors like that. That's a break for UCLA.
Bruins up by 2 on court number 3.
Serving hard at Hughes.
Sophie Vukovic.
She's got shots on top of shots.
She certainly does, and I feel like Nicole McNamara, the defender for UCLA, is hitting the ground before she needs to. If she can take one more step, she can extend a little bit more.
Clays, tough serve. No one on. It'll be Nicole blocking. What an up from Megan McNamara, perfectly placed. Knuckle back, chance for the McNamaras to set it up. And sent long.
Good defensive plays by UCLA and a chance to put that ball away. Megan McNamara tells her sister go on 2, but not enough pace to put that ball away for UCLA.
Kelly Clays back to serve as USC has opened it up. 3-point lead. Megan McNamara says not so fast, my friend.
Big cross-court kill in front of Sarah Hughes. Nice swing by Megan McNamara.
Costly service errors. That puts it as set point for USC.
But I like the aggressive serve. Just tough at this point in the set.
Set point for the Bruins now on court number 3.
Nicole McNamara trying to keep it alive. Instead, it's long, and USC takes set number 1.
Some unforced hitting errors by the McNamaras at the end of the match and a missed serve, and that was the difference in that first set.
Let's take a look at the action on court 2 as they have alternated the last 13 points. Vukovic goes down the line.
Good turn down the line, open net, that's open.
And it continues. That's 14 points that they've been trading back and forth. A nice side-out game. Sophie Vukovic serving, facing Camila Tan and Ivy Schmidt of UCLA. Nice pickup by Tan. Tan saying it's my net.
Camila Tan at the net gets that tight ball for UCLA.
Back to serve now is number 1, Ivy Schmidt.
It's very tough to beat USC's ones. As we mentioned, they are undefeated all season long. Though the McNamaras can do it if they come back and win these next 2. But it is huge for UCLA on this court 2 to make the effort. Court 3, first set's over. And UCLA had a great showing, 21-18 on court number 3.
I feel like when teams look at USC, yes, tough to beat at ones. At 2, as big and athletic as Vukovic and Strange are, they're vulnerable as well. So a lot of teams, when they focus on, hey, how are we going to beat USC, they want to win at the 2s. That's very important.
Yeah, Zappia and Carey did their part as well. And looking at Vukovic and Strange, 32-9 record as partners.
But they're big, they're physical, they can hand set, they both can block. They've got aggressive serves, but sometimes they make too many errors, they become vulnerable and lose to teams they shouldn't lose to.
They're facing a UCLA team of Camila Tan and Ivy Schmidt. Last year, Schmidt played at the ones as a freshman and then for a bit of the year. And Steinmetzger said maybe we put her there too early. He had her then play at the 5s. This partnership has matured significantly.
Well, they played together at ones for UCLA last year, and the chemistry was off. It was an upperclassman and a freshman, and it just didn't work. But this year, they're in it. Their chemistry is so much better, and they've been so steady as 2s for UCLA.
Yeah, they moved up to that 2 spot right before the Pepperdine match. They were playing 3s. UCLA picking up their first ever win against a ranked opponent was that Pepperdine match. And of course, they have continued to soar since then as a team, now the number 4 ranked team in the nation. Vukovic. And here comes Strange.
UCLA with some opportunities to win that rally, but USC comes up with it.
Alexis Strange will drop back to serve. Ready to start set 2 now on court number 1.
After alternating 17 consecutive points, USC has now built a 4-point lead in set 1. Alexis Strange back to serve. Came from the indoor game, originally playing for Nebraska. Lefty. Little poke. No pursuit.
Well executed by UCLA, down 16-19 on the switch.
They switch sides now.
On a call, you're going to take a moment and talk with Alexis Strange while Stein Metzger talks with his pair. Again, when these two played together last year, you said it wasn't quite what they wanted. This year, they have managed to put it together, be really aggressive together in a great spot for UCLA.
I think players figure out that chemistry is so important. You can't blame your partner. You're in it together. You win together. You lose together. And that's what Anna Collier for USC calls twinship, and she puts a lot of importance on that.
What a put away by Alexis Strange. But they're going to check it out on the ball mark, see if it's actually good or not.
Looks like it just missed the line if the umpire looked at the ball mark and saw it correctly. Ball goes to UCLA.
Ball down, point to the Bruins. Camila Tan back to serve.
Camila Tan back to serve. A 2-point deficit for the Bruins in this first set.
And a point by Kelly Glaze, and the Troy are up by 2 on court 1.
Hits down. It's a solid dig for Tan. Vukovic also coming from the indoor game.
Line. Middle.
Big block, but a better recovery. UCLA plays tough.
I like the way UCLA moves as a team. Schmidt and Tan moving well together, covering the tight set. When you set your partner tight, you have to cover, and it enables UCLA to win that rally.
Well, and to your point, Holly, that we've talked about so many times, there's also USC hitting in that rally, not pulling out any shots.
Correct, and UCLA now on a 3-0 run because they're playing some smart volleyball.
So for Stein Metzger addressing his team, if you were addressing Tan and Schmidt, what do you tell them for this last stretch?
Well, I like what they're doing. They're on a run. They've got some momentum. Keep the pressure on. Stay disciplined and relaxed on defense because, yes, this USC team is physical. They like to hit the ball.
And the Bruins 3.
And you see Stein Metzger talking about it, saying they like to hit the ball. Can't read his lips, but that's what I'm guessing.
Well, that's one of the biggest challenges. We always talk about people coming from the indoor game to the outdoor. Certainly Vukovic and Strange have played plenty of sand volleyball. But we see that a lot, people coming from indoor, and they keep cranking on it.
Well, and when you're big and physical and you can crank on the ball, you want to.
Right.
So, it's being smart, identifying what defense is taking away from you and taking the open court. But there definitely is a time when you want to go up and hammer the ball.
UCLA trailing by 1. Tan serves. Long after the timeout. Painful one, 4th service error, and it is set point for USC.
Camila Tan trying to go deep middle, missing it long for UCLA.
Vukovic goes at Schmidt. Little shot keeps it alive.
Ivy Smith grew up playing on the beach and shows she's got a great beach cut shot.
The Bruins pulling within 1 now on court number 1. Tied up at 5 on court 3.
It remains set point as Schmidt serves. Strange does not use her hands on the chase path. Ball put away, and the set goes to USC.
Sophie Vukovic puts it away to end the first set. A good aggressive swing.
Set 1 goes to the USC pair of Vukovic and Strange over Tan and Schmidt. And so USC in control in this set, tied up at 1 apiece in the duel. This is the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Team Championship Winners Bracket Semifinal. USC and UCLA tied up at 1 apiece in this duel. We're joining the action on court number 1. This is the second set of action. USC won set number 1. And they're in the lead in set 2, but Holly, again, the McNamara twins really challenging on this court 1 action.
Well, they've got great ball control. They're aggressive from the service line and play great defense. Those are some challenging characteristics of an opponent.
Little shot from Nicole McNamara, so smart.
When you're undersized, facing Kelly Clays at the net, you have to be creative with your offense. That time, just getting a nice little roll shot to drop.
Well, one of the things that the McNamara twins are doing well that we've seen other people struggle with is Clays has such a long reach. We've seen people all year underestimate exactly how long it is.
Well, I feel like Nicole McNamara, the first 2 plays of the game, underestimated Kelly Clays, and she's made the adjustment since then.
Back to serve.
Megan McNamara serving. Clays has handled most of the serves in the first set. This one to Hughes. Sent out.
Nicole McNamara for UCLA dropped off the net. Sarah Hughes, high flying, tries to hammer it, just does not get on top of the ball, hits it long, unforced hitting error. I tell you don't see a lot of those from Sarah Hughes. But UCLA pulls to within 1.
Set 2, they are on court number 3, and it's Bill there for the Bruins point.
Hughes again. Cut.
There's the cut shot where Megan McNamara, I feel like she lays down 1 step too soon. She takes 1 step, she can extend and touch that ball sooner.
2-point lead for Clays and Hughes. Clays, great idea. Execution only about 3 inches wide.
Kelly Clays has that killer serve down the line, trying to go at Nicole McNamara, just turns it a little wide.
Daniel timeout now. Set 2 on court 1. The winner draw 11.
And as it's going across the net, it's also spinning away from the passer. How much more challenging is it to receive that?
Well, that's what you want as a server, the ball. Even if a defender is on you, you want the ball spinning away from the defense or passer.
Dane Blanton talking to his team of Clays and Hughes. Dane, a volunteer assistant coach with USC, and another Olympian. We'll see. One of the great things about this sport, the Olympians giving back, always.
Well, 2000 gold medalist, he and partner Eric Fenoy-Mawana did the unthinkable, beat the best team in the world from Brazil. And now Dane Blanton, besides being a volunteer assistant here at USC, he is an analyst for indoor and beach volleyball as well when he's not here working with USC.
Yeah, one of our colleagues, a great advocate for this game, also a lecturer, talking with his team. He really has told us that he likes Clays and Hughes so much because when he talks to them, they are so coachable. He'll say, how about this? And they will say, like this? Is this the way you want it? Sometimes other athletes at this level, not so coachable. He loves this team.
The best collegiate team in the country in our minds. They're coachable. That's a wonderful quality. And you could be 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s for any school and be coachable, but some aren't. So that's a nice quality. And it's fun to coach people who respond and absorb some of your experience and your knowledge.
Yeah, you got a gold medal hanging around your neck. You got 3 Olympics like you do. E.F. Hutton, I mean, be quiet, listen, and these guys really respect the knowledge coming their way. Nicole McNamara, they continue to go at Hughes. Big dig, popped back over. Yeah, no question, Hughes wanted to put it away.
Good defensive touch on the first ball, but Sarah Hughes on the second one puts it away for USC.
So Vukovic cut shot for the point. Drops back to serve.
Clays is going to stay up to block, and that's just fine. Nicole McNamara right over her.
Perfect set by Megan McNamara to her sister. High line well over Kelly Clays and out of the reach of Sarah Hughes.
Number 34, Elise Zepia back to serve on court 3.
The service to Hughes. The cutty's there.
Sarah Hughes gets her feet there to hammer it and then cuts it, and that makes it so hard to defend because you have to, as a defender, dig in basically for the power because we know she's got power, and then she turns that ball sharp along the net.
Well, and that's what we were talking about in the twos match earlier, is that she has that power but doesn't always use it, catching people the way they should. And a big ace by Clays in the corner.
Kelly Clays cross court. She's got lots of range. We see her. She likes to serve down the line, but this one cross court to the corner.
The score on court 3 popping out for you there, and with good reason. Carey and Zappia with a lead in set number 2 after taking set 1. Looking to pick up a point for UCLA.
The story on court 3 has been serving Elise Zappia and Izzy Carey doing a great job from the service line, up 15-10 in the second set after winning the first set.
Sarah Hughes back to serve here on court 1, a 3-point lead for Clays and Hughes. Nicole McNamara has seen most of it. How about on 2, turned long.
Wow, Megan McNamara took a beautiful swing at this ball. Good option because of her sister's great pass and just misses.
Down the middle. Nicole up. Clays just uses that left hand knuckle.
Sarah Hughes controls that dig so well, gives Kelly Clays the opportunity to go up and battle at the net with the high poke shot, and we know she's ambidextrous.
Yeah, she worked on that, developed that her sophomore year of high school by throwing the football, she said, for hours with her father, getting that strength.
It's funny because I coach a left-handed high school player, and I told her start because I think she needs to develop her right hand play for transition, and I told her to start throwing the ball with her right hand.
Yeah, that's right.
So I learned something from that story. Thank you.
Everything she does. Clays and Hughes, you see them listening to Dane Blanton, nodding their head in approval. The pressure on this team, Holly, being 42-0, I mean, that's got to be a lot of pressure for them.
It's a lot of pressure, but when we talked to them on Friday, they're like, you know what, we're not even paying attention to the numbers. We're showing up at the beach every day trying to get better. You know, when you're the best like that, I don't think you count like that.
Well, let's join the action over on court 3, where UCLA with a 7-point lead. Elisa Zappia and Izzy Carey won set 1. They're in control in set 2, and Holly, that would be a big point for the Bruins.
Certainly a big point because Coach Anna Collier for USC talks about Allie Wheeler and Nicolette Martin as being her steady team. Great chemistry, great beach experience. But Elise Zappia, just a sophomore, and Izzy Carey, a freshman, taking care of business on court 3.
For UCLA to come in and have never taken a point off of USC and to potentially grab 2 here as it is at match point, that shows the growth of this program.
20-11, that's a commanding lead for this UCLA squad.
Izzy Carey serving. Wheeler sets. And Nicolette Martin puts it down.
Long road ahead of this USC team of Wheeler and Martin, as steady as this UCLA Bruin team of Izzy Carey and Elise Zappia are playing.
It remains match point. Big block and a chicken wing. 4 touches though, and that'll be it on a lift.
A little bit sticky on the cover of the block, but still no pressure yet on UCLA with that big of a lead.
Martin serves. Carey up. Martin, another opportunity on a tight set. Great chase, but Zappia with the pokey win, and UCLA picks up their second point of this duel.
And now lead the duel 2-1. That's a big deal.
UCLA came into this having never taken a point off USC. Right now they are leading this duel as the action continues on court number 1. USC's pair of Clays and Hughes being challenged by the McNamara twins.
UCLA switching to the good side, down 16-19, but on the good side, that means wind in their face. They can be aggressive from the service line.
Set 2 with a 11 and the Bruins 10.
Clays, knuckle, big pop-up. All the way to the corner, did it hit?
Missed by a centimeter, and I love that shot. Good decision at that time, just missed.
McNamara is trying to stay alive and push it to a third set. Great heat on the serve. Pokey's there.
Soft little cut shot, pokey back, match point.
Clays and Hughes looking for their 43rd consecutive match with this point. Pulling out the hands. And Clay swipes at it, no good.
Nicole McNamara, fearless, breaking out her hands. Well delivered set, tool off the block.
I'll say fearless, and the crowd was vocal about it. You're not going to call that on match point unless you have to. Clays picks it up. Big dig. Megan McNamara. Off the hands of Kelly Clays.
McNamara's making it exciting with some great defensive plays. Now just down by 1.
Can they take the second set of the year off of Clays and Hughes? Huge point. Clays unloads, and the match goes to Clays and Hughes.
Kelly Clays shows she's got the power, big power, cross court for the win.
Tied up at 2 apiece as Clays and Hughes stay perfect, 43-0. We're going to be back with the deciding match in this set. It's going to come down to the 2 pairs.
How many gasolines clean better than Chevron?
McNeely.
Tied up at 2 apiece, the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Team Championship. Taking a look at the match summary, Holly, it's been a thriller.
Absolutely, I'll tell you, Izzy Carey and Elise Zappia, that is a big-time win at the 3s position, but Clays and Hughes, as expected, won their match, and Kremer Nightingale at 5.
Before this, UCLA had never taken a point off of UCLA, off of USC in the brief history of this sport. Now it all comes down to the 2 pairs. UCLA went on a 4-0 run, tied it up at 11, and now they're back down by 2. Schmidt and Bukovic into the net.
Good drop and dig by Sophie Bukovic, but cannot convert. UCLA pulls to within 1.
This is huge, Holly. This really shows and exemplifies the team aspect of this sport. You have to be deep all the way through, and right now, UCLA's 2's tying it up.
14 all, very deep serve on Sophie Bukovic, and Sophie Bukovic's mad at herself. She thinks that ball was long. You see her motion, that ball's long, I gotta let that go. But doesn't matter now, 14 all, UCLA climbing back in the second set.
2s, 3s, and 4s. Getting it done for UCLA right now. Alexa Strange's hands, always great.
Beautiful hand set, Sophie Bukovic. Nice cut shot from the left side. Good pass, nice hand set, and then the cut shot.
Up at the net, going high line over Vukovic.
Ticks the tape. Nice high executed line shot by Camila Tan from UCLA. Starts with a fantastic pass. And look at the high reach over the block of Sophie Vukovic.
Ask him to look up into the sun. A little bit Strange, his left hand. Looks strong.
Alexa Strange comes inside on that set and delivers some power across court.
Vukovic goes at Schmidt. Schmidt doesn't get it over, perhaps distracted by Vukovic.
Well, Ivy Schmidt came inside and the ball came out on her a little bit and she just kind of misread that set, unforced hitting her for UCLA. Coach Sean Fallowfield running to try and give UCLA some love in this timeout along with his other coach, Stein Metzger.
This is just the first duel of action today in this Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Team Championship. Holly, more action coming up after this as we will go to the contenders bracket. Arizona and Washington will be playing next. Arizona, a lot on the line.
Absolutely, playing a very physical, emerging Washington beach volleyball program.
And UCLA's pair of Vukovic and Strange in a 2-point lead. Alexis Strange's mother always attends the game, both parents, but her mother is blind, has been since Alexa was about a year and a half old. Her father describes all the action to her.
Amazing, amazing, and she never misses a match. They're always here. I love the support.
On senior day, just a couple of weeks ago, Alexa Strange walking out with her parents. Big smiles all along, and the action described perfectly by her father. Alexa Strange, great family support. The lefty originally went to Nebraska. Now a star for UCLA's two-team. Big dig by her. Vukovic, little pokey over. USC point.
Big defensive play at crunch time by USC, and Sophie Vukovic gets a nice stab on this ball. It's tight, but just a tiny little pokey gets it to drop for USC.
12 kills this set for Vukovic, including that stab. Vukovic going to the high line.
The pressure from the service line right now by USC is making a difference. Little tweak in the pass, and then UCLA cannot convert a side out.
A 4-0 run by the Trojans opens this up, what was tied at 15 apiece. Schmidt, as Vukovic pulls off. And again, Strange around the block.
I like the dig. The transition hit some tape, could have rolled out, but drops in for USC. Match point number 1.
As far as what's on the line on this one, well, the winner of this duel gets to sit until 4 o'clock, take some rest and recover. The loser goes into the contenders bracket and has to play their way back through that.
That's a big advantage.
Match point for USC's twos. Schmidt, no one on. Gets a little help from the tape.
Good to be aggressive. Hard off the tape drops for UCLA. Down by 4, but on the good side is UCLA.
Camila Tan serving. Serves Vukovic. Nice set by Alexis Strange. Put away by Vukovic.
Alexis Strange tells her partner line, but Sophie Vukovic says, no, I am just going to hammer that ball and put it away. Good USC win, but boy, was it exciting. Love when it comes down to the final match.
USC takes it on a 6-1 run. Holly, USC will sit and rest as they win the first duel of the day.
Well, UCLA is playing well, close to USC, but they've got a long road ahead of them, have to play all day to get back.
USC, the #1 team in the nation, extends their win streak as they again take down UCLA. UCLA picks up 2 points off of USC. They have never before done that. So USC celebrates the first win of the day, but plenty more action on Pac-12 networks today. We're going to say so long for just a few minutes. Come back with us at the top of the hour. We're going to see Arizona and Washington next.
The win.